Hello YouTube world, Mac Daddy 191181 here with the Shade Tree Survivalists, coming to you from Iowa this Labor Day weekend, 2012. Been working on a little, not really a speech, I don't know what you'd call it, but anyway, something I wanted to discuss and put out there for us to discuss, and maybe it'll do some good. I doubt it in this damn day and age, but I'm going to give it a shot and see what happens. Today I would like to examine the relationship between our modern news media and the public that it is supposed to serve. Not only the relationship, but also the responsibility which the news media touts at every turn, yet rarely, if ever, lives up to. Every year there are awards given for outstanding journalism to reporters and editors and news organizations as a whole. Yet they report their opinions as fact, and even outright lies and win Pulitzers. Isn't there an independent body that checks on the validity of each story before awarding such propaganda pieces with such illustrious prizes? Now, if that isn't enough, what's even worse are the stories that are ignored. Ignored because they would hurt the quote unquote good party. The good party. So who decides which political party is good? Well, the national media has decided that they are the only ones who are smart enough to do that for us, the people. Even with my limited education, I remember the first words of the Declaration of Independence, ladies and gents. And to me, only the first three words truly matter. We, the people. We, the people, decide who will be our president. We, the people, decide who will represent us in our Congress. We, the people, decide who will represent us in our Senate. Who will be our governors. Who will be our state representatives. Who will be our mayors and our councilmen, etc. It is our collective wisdom that has brought us this far. Yet even that collective wisdom makes mistakes. See the White House if you want to know what I'm talking about. The hope and change we were promised should have been, I am smarter than everyone, so shut up and take it. A cult of personality has taken the place of a genuine leader. Just like President Clinton, President Obama had 2 whole years of complete control of the White House, the Congress, and the Senate. Just like Clinton, he rammed a liberal agenda down our throats. However, unlike Clinton, who lost the majority in the House and the Senate, and thereafter moved to the middle politically and worked with the Republicans, President Obama has refused to work to find common ground after losing the majority in the Senate. And I believe it was the Senate. It might have been the Congress. I'm always getting those two screwed up. Do any of you out there think that this situation will change if President Obama is reelected? Do you? Where does the mass news media stand on this? They have turned a blind eye and a deaf ear to the truth. Worse, they hammer anyone who tries to raise the alarm. They participate in the demonization of conservatives no matter their political party. Remember, we have blue dog Democrats out there who are pretty much conservatives. And we also have Republicans who are pretty much liberals. As a social and physical conservative, we here at the Shade Tree Survivalist have been vilified by left-wing liberal politicians as racist, as stupid, ignorant, hateful, and bigoted. Conservative politicians are demonized in political commercials as people who hate children, women, senior citizens, clean air, clean water, and anyone who isn't a millionaire. Newsflash, I don't know any millionaires personally, thank you very much. According to the liberal media and liberal politicians, if you own a gun, you are abnormal and are prone to violence and criminal activity. Yet it is liberals who want to legalize drugs such as marijuana and cocaine. It is liberals who praise women who choose self over their own child's life and promote abortion. Abortion. The murder of an unborn, absolutely, totally innocent life. A child, a baby. People, come on now. It is liberals who want to outlaw the death penalty for murderers, and it is liberals who want to understand and rehabilitate child molesters and child murderers. See the ACLU and the lawsuits and the people that they defend at every turn. You check that out on the internet or other places and find out the truth for yourself. Yet when conservatives speak out for the unborn and their right to life and liberty, we are scorned as anti-women's rights. When we stand up for our God and our faith, we are scorned as bigots and stupid. When did protecting and caring about the helpless and innocent become a crime? When did believing in my God become a crime? What happened to the heroes of the news media who believed that reporting the news in an unbiased way and telling the truth was a noble and in many cases heroic thing? Names such as Ernie Pyle, P-Y-L-E for y'all who might want to check it out, Edward R. Murrow, M-U-R-R-O-W, Mr. Bernstein and Mr. Woodward come immediately to mind. Folks who put their lives and reputations on the line to find out and to tell the truth. Mr. Ernie Pyle reported from the front lines during World War II. He lived with the combat troops on the front lines and admired their courage and their shared misery. And shared their misery, I should say. After the victory in Europe, he moved to the Pacific and was eventually killed on the island of Okinawa on the front line with his troops because he loved his troops. He told it like it was, sharing with his readers what it was like to be on the line. He shared their hardships and he shared their emotional ups and downs. In the 50s, Mr. Edward R. Murrow stood toe-to-toe against Senator Joe McCarthy and eventually exposed his unconstitutional and tyrannical behavior to the American people. At that point in our history, it took a great deal of courage to question anything McCarthy did. There was a real fear of communist spies and infiltrators trying to take over our government. See President Obama. McCarthy and those of his ilk took full advantage of the situation. Anyone who questions his methods were threatened, investigated, and blacklisted. Again, see President Obama. The liberal media is still proud of Mr. Murrow and his accomplishments. In the 70s, it was Woodward and Bernstein who shined a light of truth into the dark after the Watergate story broke. They dug for the truth, and along with a lot of help from an FBI source codenamed Deep Throat, Mr. Mark Felt, brought down the President of the United States, Richard Nixon. They saw the danger and understood where it could lead. I don't think Nixon was evil, yet he did break the law, and what would have happened if he had been evil and had willing henchmen to do some more dirty work. Okay? Say he had some henchmen out there who killed Woodward or Bernstein. That was a real concern of theirs. This is President of the United States, the most powerful man on the planet Earth. What if he'd have had someone willing to kill him? You know, car wreck, shoot him, whatever. Staged robbery. I can imagine a dictator-in-chief, if allowed to get away with it. Like I said, I don't really think Nixon was truly evil in that particular way, but breaking a law is breaking a law. Okay? So, why isn't the same liberal media not shining the same harsh light of truth into the shadows of the Obama administration? The liberal media is so proud of bringing down a possible tyrant in the form of Richard Nixon, yet ignore the same type of behavior from Obama. As a whole, they ignored the Reverend Wright story and the Obama's connection with Weather Underground member Bill Ayers, who had a role in bombing the Pentagon as part of the anti-war movement near the end of the Vietnam War. I consider a bombing of any kind by an American citizen as an act of domestic terrorism. Yet no one questioned President Obama's relationship with Ayers. The national security leaks coming from the White House. What about that? Fast and Furious. What about that? What about the drones flying over our country spying on her own citizens? As I understand it, both parties signed off on the drone overflights. So it's not just Democrats, ladies and gentlemen. There's some Republicans out there. Did the Fast and Furious debacle truly start under the Bush administration? All right. Do not be apologetic for either party, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't want this country to go straight to hell, you better damn well expect and demand the truth of both types of leaders, liberal and conservative. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up either for a Nazi regime or a communist regime. Simple as that. What about the Homeland Security law that members of both parties and both houses of Congress drafted, voted for, and in which President Obama signed into law back in December of 2011? This law allows the Department of Homeland Security to arrest an American citizen for suspected terrorist activity and or involvement. Suspected now. It spells out in the law that an American citizen can be arrested and held indefinitely without charge, without a free phone call, no lawyer, and no contact with the outside world. You just disappear. That reminds me of the Gestapo or the KGB. Okay, the Gestapo was the Nazi secret police. Had the right to shoot you in the friggin' head for anything. The KGB, same thing. This is the whole ball of wax. Didn't matter if you were guilty of anything. Didn't matter if you were a loyal party follower. All that matters is you were the enemy. Didn't even know it till it was too damn late. And then they got to put a bullet in your freaking head or worse. So, why have these same proud reporters who brought down Nixon stood by without raising a little bit of hell? Why do those same news organizations literally cheer Obama on, not seeing the writing on the wall? The most horrific dictators in history were liberals. Joseph Stalin, Mao, in China. Yet the liberal media seems to have forgotten that. I have not, and I will not forget. What about you? Liberals may not all be evil. However, all that is necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Furthermore, as Benjamin Franklin said, they who would give up essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. This is my opinion. You can agree or disagree with it. That's your prerogative. And as I've mentioned under here, it's your constitutional right. However, if you don't see where the Obama administration and the government as a whole is headed. We're doomed. This is Mac Daddy 1911A1 with the Shade Tree Survivalist, hoping I have stirred something in your head and your heart. You don't start asking questions. You don't start holding all the leaders, not just the liberals, conservatives too. If you don't start holding their feet to the fire, we may find out what the poor citizens of the communist regime in the 20s and the 30s found out. And the 40s too, and the 50s. And the communists, the poor bastards in China when it became communist, and he murdered millions and millions and millions of his own people. We may find out the hard way what they know. Okay? Do your research, do your homework, write letters, write emails, call your representatives, hold their damn feet to the fire, and use your damn brain. Use your freaking noggin. This is Mac Daddy 1911A1 with the Shade Tree Survivalist, hoping and praying that God will continue to bless this country, though we do not deserve it. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Please comment and hit like or whatever. Y'all have a great day. Thank you.